welcome to my show. Let's talk about it with Xavier Fox. And that's exactly what we do. I'm Xavier Fox, and I'm the first lady of talk on the Astute Gentleman Radio Network. We're talking about relationships, health, and fitness, getting our money right with investing and crypto info. We have attorney April Prayer, who's laying down the law every first Friday from 1 to 2. We've got Girl Talk, Barbershop Talk, and our newest addition to the lineup, Sexually Explicit. You never know what controversial, intriguing, intense conversation might take place on this show, or who might be the next special guest. I'm here on Monday mornings from 7 to 9 a.m. and on Thursdays and Fridays from 12 to 2. Tune in for this journey and be ready to laugh and open to learn as we explore different viewpoints. Today, holistic health practitioner Samir Ali, he wraps it up with his 3-part series on proper food combining. Clean your colon, get your body and your mind right, get your body to your natural weight. You'll have more energy, get healthy, and health is the real wealth. So without further ado, Mr. Samir Ali, how you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am great. I am great. I've been practicing proper food combining, so I'm full of energy and life, and I'm ready to go. Last night I had this wonderful. So I have my meatless meatballs, right? Because we have really great products now. Beyond has great products, so you can get really good tasting meat options. It's not like back in the day where everything tasted grainy or whatever. You actually have really good products now. So I made spaghetti and meatballs. I made me a nice salad with some tomatoes and some sweet Vidalia onion dressing, and it was delicious. And I made some homemade garlic bread. So I had the starches with the vegetables last night instead of the meat with the vegetables. It was delicious.
Yes, yes. And, it's interesting because most people, what they do is, like when we were growing up, when we would have, some kind of meat like chicken, even fish or, turkey or beef, we always had a vegetable, but we didn't know that it was a starchy vegetable that we weren't supposed to have with the meal. So generally you have your peas or your carrots, with the rice and the chicken, or your peas or the carrots, or peas and carrots with the rice and the steak, or had what they call fish on Friday, which was usually served with spaghetti, which is pasta.
Or fries and coleslaw.
Right, fries, coleslaw. And so that starchy food, that carbohydrate actually prevented your body or your system from properly digesting that meat that you had with that meal. Although it was a vegetable, it was good. Vegetables are good for you, but because it wasn't properly combined, it interfered with the absorption of nutrients and the proper digestion.
Okay.
Of the
So what
entire
what
meal
are the
itself.
what are the starchy vegetables? I know you said carrots and corn. Is there anything else?
Carrots, corn, and peas.
Oh, peas are starchy. Okay.
Yes, peas are starchy.
I love peas. All right. I have to keep that in mind.
Yes, definitely. And so going on, uh, going forward, when we get to the stomach and we get to, which is the second part of digestion, and we get into the colon, the small intestines and large intestines, which is the final stage of digestion, because it actually begins with the mouth, with the mastication and the release of enzymes in your saliva into the food. That's the first part of digestion. And then once it reaches your stomach, it gets tossed all around like a washing machine, and other enzymes are released to mix in with the food that you just chewed up. And then it further shreds and liquefies the food before it can pass it off into the intestines. So there's enzymes in your mouth that first aid with the digestion because your saliva is chocked with different types of enzymes. Then there are another set of enzymes that are in your stomach that start to release based on what food it is that you ate. Then the pancreas kicks in and starts putting more enzymes in there along with your stomach, because your pancreas is not the only thing in your body that has or secretes enzymes. It has most of all of the enzymes than any other organ in your body in the digestion process.
Oh, really?
But yes, because the mouth has a few, the stomach has certain ones, even the small intestines has enzymes, and people don't know these things. And the pancreas, is the one that is probably affected the most, but it has the most different types of enzymes in the pancreas. So the pancreas jumps in there and it throws the enzymes in there. And so like when you eat meat, it releases what's called a protease enzyme, which is for animal digestion, called pepsin. Pepsin helps to break down and shred the animal protein. Then once it gets into the small intestine, then trypsin is released. Trypsin is a more powerful protease enzyme that actually shreds and starts to separate all the amino acids in the proteins in the foods that you eat. By the time that the pepsin and the trypsin get a hold of that animal, whatever it is, even if it's just fish, then it can be assimilated into the small intestine where all the nutrients are extracted from it and goes, and then the liver plays a part in it, your gallbladder, the bile mix ins with it, and then that's how it turns into poop, and then it goes into the large intestine where you excrete it out.
Hmm. That's interesting. You just schooled us on the digestive process.
Yes. From the front door to the back door.
Yeah, I never knew the difference of what the small intestine did versus what the large intestines did.
Yeah, the small intestines actually excrete further stronger enzymes, and by that time, everything is being pulled out of the food that has been liquefied. So it has to be chewed up, masticated in the mouth. It reaches the stomach full of enzymes in it. Those enzymes interact with the enzymes in the stomach. The stomach releases another set of enzymes to help liquefy it. And then even after it's liquefied, then it has to be compartmentalized and separated. So each amino acid that that meat or that vegetable or starch or whatever it is that you did eat, whatever the vitamins or minerals that it contains, it has to be separated. And then individually, they have enzymes that come in and take individual minerals or vitamins or amino acids and distribute them throughout your bloodstream into your body.
So now when we improperly combine, and you said that it hinders the digestive process. So let's say I had, a nice medium rare steak and some, delicious garlic mashed potatoes and some asparagus. So now I know that the potatoes and that steak is not really happening right together. So what does the potatoes do that stops me from digesting the meat, or vice versa?
So anytime you eat a food that doesn't go together, there are chemical reactions that happen. And, certain things have to happen or not happen in order for certain things to happen or not to happen. So in the case where you consume like starchy vegetables, The starch itself has a different type of enzyme that digests the starch. That enzyme is not to be present with the enzyme that digests meat.
Mm.
So when you eat a vegetable, like starch, potatoes, or you have your rice, carbohydrates was another starch, your peas, your carrots, your corn. The enzymes that are required to digest that interferes with the proteases or the hydrochloric acid, which has to be released in order to properly break down all of the animal protein. So when you combine those two, because the enzymes for the starch is so powerful, it will actually trigger in your brain not to send the hydrochloric acid because it doesn't release both of them at the same time. That's how unique the human body is designed. It
Mm.
won't. So in nature, animals eat things singularly. They don't have seasons. They don't have food combining. You know, if they eat a banana, they're not eating a banana in a salad.
Right.
If they're catching a deer in the wild, they're not eating the deer and then going to chew some grains or
Right.
something with it. They eat singularly. We actually have to eat it plurally in combination because our systems is designed that way. Their system isn't designed to eat things plurally. They have to eat singularly. So, and which is also a distinction between us and animals, because we're the crown of creation. So, we have gourmet meals. We have different variety. We have barbecue flavor. We got Cajun. We got jerk. We have Italian. We have Mexican. We have different herbs and spices that are indicative to cultures, that add different flavors and different types of dishes. Nothing else in nature eats like that except us.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, because people have gotten away from how to properly combine their food over the years and mainstream, marketing and restaurants, um, we were taught that modern lifestyle is who has time to separate their meals in such a way. So a healthy meal would consist of fruits in the morning and either an animal protein in the afternoon or a carbohydrate salary in the afternoon, and then an animal protein for dinner or a carbohydrate dinner, unless you wanted to eat meat twice. But you shouldn't eat meat of any kind more than twice a day. And if you eat red meat, because it has a longer digestion time, then you shouldn't eat red meat for the next 2 to 3 days. Once a week is healthy.
Okay.
So, like we were discussing in previous conversations, uh, people's kidneys are shutting down because they have an overconsumption of protein. And so the notion is that if you're not vegetarian, then why aren't you eating meat with every meal? And that's not the right way to approach food or to look at it. You can have a meal without meat and still not be a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you're properly combining your food so that you can have optimal health.
Mm-hmm. Because I think I eat meat now, and I don't consider myself vegetarian or vegan. Um, I eat meat probably 3 to 4 times a week. I don't eat it every day. Sometimes less than that. It just kind of depends. But when I do choose to eat meat, then I make sure that I enjoy that meal and I do the proper food combining. And it's really amazing because I really thought it was because I love like meat and potatoes. I'm like a meat and potato girl. That's how I grew up. It's amazing to me the different ways that you like cauliflower, which is something that I hated as a kid. Cauliflower, you can make mashed Okay, you can't make mashed potatoes out of cauliflower, but you can make mashed cauliflower. You boil it till it's soft and mash it up and put all the same stuff that you put into mashed potatoes, and you don't know those are not potatoes. It is so good. I'm just like, so I have my mashed cauliflower and my meat and whatever vegetable I'm gonna have, and it's delicious. Now that I know I
Yes,
have peas, so I won't be having pea. I didn't realize that peas were starchy, because I did have some peas with it before, but I love artichokes and broccoli, all kind of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely ways that you can send that signal to your brain, because when your brain looks at that mashed cauliflower, it looks like mashed potatoes. And when you eat it with your butter and your little salt, whatever you're gonna put on it, um, it tastes like mashed potatoes. And so your brain is processing it. Like I made cauliflower hash browns one morning because I had some mashed potatoes left. So I just browned them, made them a little crisp on the outside. It was delicious.
yes, and that's the beauty of it. They've gotten a lot better than what they used to be when they first tried doing these alternative foods to substitute for meat, or for certain type of foods that later on they discovered weren't so good for you, or overconsumption of them was kind of bad.
Hmm.
Um, every food contains a benefit and a detriment. Every single one except rice.
Mm,
They did a study, and rice is the only food that contains perfect balance of both yin and yang energies.
wow. I love rice.
Yes, right. Well, a billion Chinese can't be wrong.
Mm,
So, um, carbohydrates give you your fuel for your brain, and it gives you energy. And it actually is what's really linked to weight gain, not necessarily protein, but it's linked to weight gain. So, when people deprive themselves of carbohydrates, then the body has to pull from other sources of food or artificial, drinks or whatever, to substitute for the carbohydrates it's not getting, which is going to put your system in a deprivation of what it needs. And then when you come off of this no carb diet or whatever the case may be, and while you're on it, your body's going to call for more food. You're going to always find yourself hungry, even though you may have just eaten. 2 hours later, you're going to be hungry again. Or 3 hours, you're going to be extremely hungry. And the reason for that is because obesity is hunger. Obesity is hunger, which means that your body is hungry for nutrients, but because you weren't taught how to properly nourish your body, you don't give it the nutrients it needs, and you don't combine your food properly. So it's always malnourished. And thus you have an obesity problem worldwide.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I never really want to give up my carbohydrates, because I learned when I was training to compete that that's pretty much where you get your energy from.
Yeah.
So when people, okay, so you just said it makes you hungry, but so doesn't that stops you from releasing some kind of chemical in the brain? Isn't that what you just told us, that the carbohydrates release something too?
Well, the carbohydrates have a different enzyme that's required to digest them. And this is why it shouldn't be consumed with any animal protein. And
Okay.
trust me, it's a curveball to everything that you've ever heard or learned before in the past. It's a complete curveball. And so no one is used to waking up and being told that you can't combine different types of fruits. Because whenever you go to a restaurant, especially a buffet, or someone has an event, they have every fruit you can name in the fruit basket or the fruit display. They have the grapes, they have the bananas, they have the apple slices, the strawberries, they have all the melons. You got the honeydew, the cantaloupe, the watermelon. And melons should always be eaten alone. Dry fruits should be eaten only with other dry fruits. Citrus fruits should be eaten only with citrus fruits and never with dry fruits or with melons. So you shouldn't have an orange and a banana.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have lemons and strawberries.
Mm,
So, but people consume, and not only do they improperly combine fruit, they eat fruit after the meal. And fruit is 80 to 90% water. So its digestion time is like anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes complete. Whereas that steak that you ate before you ate the fruit, that's going to take about another 8, 10 hours before that fully digests. So now that fruit has to wait for that the strenuous and the longevity of the long digestive process of the meat, and so then it just sits and it starts to rot,
Mm.
and it starts to rot on top of the food that's taking longer to digest because it doesn't take that long to digest.
Mm.
So fruit should never be eaten after a meal, always prior, because the fruit contains certain enzymes, nutrients that prepare your stomach acids to digest what comes after that. Fruit carries the vibration of the earth during the day. Vegetables carry the vibration of the earth during the night.
Mm.
This is why you eat vegetables in the evening. You eat fruits during the daytime. Some fruits you can eat at night. Some they're different things. Like bananas. If you bananas and oranges, if you eat them like after 5 or 6 p.m., it can cause you to have mucus in your nasal passages
Mm.
because they carry the vibration. So there's a vibration in the daytime and there's a vibration at night that the earth shifts from. And we learn this from practicing Tai Chi Chuan. So when you practice Tai Chi, there's the yin and the yang energies. So in the daytime, that's yang. At nighttime, that's yin.
Mm.
And so fruits carry a yang vibration and vegetables carry a yin vibration. And so also eating foods in their season. When you eat foods out of their season, that's also very bad. That means it has been grown out of its natural season, which is an alteration.
Yeah, we got a lot of that going on. Everything is freaking altered. You
Yeah,
got
you
to
can
search
get,
for a fruit that actually has a seed in it still. You got seedless grapes and seedless watermelon. Everything is seedless. That's not a real fruit.
that's not a real fruit, it's not real food. Your body wasn't designed to get its nutrients from something that's been altered in nature. You know, it naturally grows as it's supposed to, but because we've been trained to believe that, you know, the seeds are bad, and you know, people you know, with their ideologies and their brilliance, decided that, well, how about we just start making it without, so people don't have to complain. We have seedless fruit. Oh my God, what would they think of next? They have now I can enjoy my grapes without the seed. Are you seriously crazy?
They don't know no better.
Like you would rather have something altered in nature just because you can't deal with the inconvenience or what you, but then the seed, everyone knows the benefits of grapeseed oil.
Hmm.
Grapeseed oil has numerous, you can even cook with grapeseed oil, but it has numerous tons of benefits.
That's all I cook with is grapeseed oil.
Right. So when you properly combine your food and you have a regimen of how you're supposed to eat, and generally we work, you know, a 9 to 5. So you have your fruit, you just slept. You just slept. So that means your body has stored up all of this energy. It's stored up all of this energy. You're rested. You're not supposed to wake up tired. That was the whole point of you going to sleep.
Right.
You're not supposed to wake up sluggish or lethargic. You're supposed to wake up energized and charged. And you can't contribute it to old age, because if you treat your body right, it's going to do some amazing things.
Absolutely.
So one of the things a lot of people notice that when they start properly combining food is how much more energy they have.
Hmm.
You know, they have much more energy. And so if you wake up, now if you have a high metabolism, such as myself, then at some point you may want to have some animal protein. But if you eat certain foods, so I can combine dry fruit, because it's going to take a little bit longer to digest dry fruit than it would citrus fruit or melons. So if I combine, let's say, some bananas, raisins, dates, and then I have an avocado with that,
Oh, I love
or
avocado.
avocado slices. Well, my body's not going to call for food until lunchtime because of the density of the fruit in which I ate. Now I can combine that in a salad, a green leafy salad. I can combine that and it all works. I can have that with some lettuce or some romaine or, you know, one of the green leafy vegetables, or
A
even with
butter
some spinach,
lettuce.
a butter lettuce, right, which is delicious.
Yes, it is.
Chinese cabbage, doesn't matter. And now I have given my body a host of different proteins, because there's omega-6 in avocado. It's a very dense fruit, and bananas, which is also dense. And bananas doesn't have many amino acids. Only has like 1.3 grams. Your body as a woman requires 46 grams daily. And then for a man, it's like 54 to 56 daily. That's not including.
Somebody said that a banana has all 8 of the somethings that you need in a day.
There aren't 8, there are 9.
Oh. Well, do
There are
bananas have
9.
8 of them?
It has 9 essential amino acids. So your body is so amazing that if you give it the 9 essential amino acids, then it is going to make the other non-essential amino acids.
Oh, okay.
So, but there are food sources that have the non-essentials as well as the essentials. So a superfood is considered something that can sustain you with every vitamin and mineral, not just amino acids. So spirulina is a superfood because it contains vitamins and minerals and amino acids. Bee pollen is a superfood because it contains vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. So anything that has a complete host of vitamins and minerals and amino acids is considered a superfood. A banana is not a superfood for that matter. And in order for you to get the daily requirement of protein from banana, as a woman, you would have to eat 37 of them.
Oh, Jesus, Lord, no.
That can't be considered a superfood. That's just not logical. That's not any lifestyle that any human being has. And where are you going to store 37 bananas?
I ate 2 bananas a day for a year. And after that, my body was like, no more bananas. I had to actually quit for like 8 months. I didn't eat not one banana. I just started back eating bananas.
Right. But as a result, the desired result for your health came about from doing that, right?
Yes.
Right. So you had to bring your body back into balance because you were at the time, I believe, struggling with blood pressure.
Yep.
So a banana is mostly for potassium, which is for your heart and your blood pressure. So a banana actually works synergistically with your kidneys because your kidneys regulate your blood pressure. Mm-hmm. So, and the banana also is good for the colon, keeps you regular. So a banana with raisins or with dates, and you can actually combine stuff like rice with bananas, or rice with raisins, or rice with dates. And this is a good carbohydrate combination. And if you eat a carbohydrate salad consisting of rice or potatoes and then some fruit, some dry fruit, then you have exactly what you need to fuel you for a gym workout or a physical fitness regimen without the burden of heavy meat taking longer to digest and requiring you to be still or not so active afterwards.
So I can't really imagine rice with a banana. That I can't imagine that. But what about if I made some what about if I made some dressing and put some the dried cranberries in there? What are cranberries good for you?
Yes, cranberries are good for you. Some foods have such powerful medicinal properties, they should only be taken when there is an ailment. Like ginseng, for instance, if that's a herb. Ginseng should never be taken when you have a cold.
Mm,
Yeah, because it will enhance the cold.
really?
Yes. But if you have the common cold, never take ginseng. It will enhance the cold. But ginseng, as we all know, has numerous benefits for your body: longevity, health, anti-aging. It protects you from radiation. But ginseng should never be taken when you have the common cold.
Oh, that's good information.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, whatever combination suits you, as long as it's a proper combination, whatever fits you to your liking, then be creative. But learn what goes with what and what doesn't, and then come up with your own thing. That's the beauty of it. We have so many different varieties to choose from. Like, just imagine if we only had the American diet, or if we only had the Italian diet, or we only had, we wouldn't know about the other cultures' food dishes. Think about it. It's only chicken, it's only fish, it's only beef. How many variations? How do Mexicans prepare their chicken? How do the Chinese prepare their chicken? How do the um, Jamaicans prepare their chicken? How do the Americans prepare their chicken? How do they attack? You see what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
one animal, but there are like several different variations of flavors and styles and spices that you can use to season this one animal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty of being a human being, that we eat in a plural sense, not a singular sense. There's no season out there in the wild. They get the flavor of whatever that animal tastes like when they kill it.
Yuck. Mud.
Mud, adrenaline, fear, fur,
Uh, uh,
you know, blood, all of that.
oh, yuck. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah,
So
they
we
they
should
get
not
all of that.
be, we definitely don't want to eat like the animals eat.
Of course we do not. And even if the animal is vegetarian, they don't have any they don't have no butter and salt on their rice.
Right. Do
You know
they
what I'm
eat
saying?
rice? How they
Yeah,
get?
they can't take bananas and make banana pudding.
Oh, I love banana pudding.
You know what I'm saying? So we have these flavors that we combine, and all of these spices that we use contain enzymes for digesting whatever food it is. And it's just amazing that it all goes together. We put ginger on chicken all day long, but ginger has enzymes that actually digest animal protein. But that's the beauty of God, that I'm gonna give you a spice that has a flavor, and then you can mix that spice with other spices or other flavors and variations, numerous different types of variations, and
And
all
so,
of them contain something that's going to help in the digestion. So you're going to enjoy this amazing flavor, and it's going to get properly digested at the same time. And each spice that you use with the food is going to carry a benefit.
so I want to do something. I know it's a little bit off your path at the moment, but I just want to throw this in here and give the women a little treat. I'm fortunate enough to get to talk to you on a regular basis, as you are my holistic health practitioner. And I trust you because you've helped me through different things over the years. And I've known you for a whole heap of years at this point. So, um, what did you say? You was telling some lady you ran into yesterday at the health food section or whatever. how to flatten her stomach with some stuff. What'd you tell her to get?
Um, so to flatten a woman's stomach, it's always best to have ginger and fennel seed. Ginger aids in digestion. It removes candida, which is fungus. It stimulates natural body chi, and ginger um, is good for the intestines. And it's a mild way of cleansing the colon and flattening the stomach. So when you combine ginger with cruciferous vegetables, and cruciferous vegetables contain DIM, diindolylmethane, methane, which checks the aromatase enzyme, which causes your natural body's testosterone to convert into estrogen by 1% each year. This also, midsection weight gain is hormonal when you reach a certain age. It's hormonal mixed with improper food combining and diet. And it could be a backup in, feces in the intestines. So if you combine fennel seed, cruciferous vegetables with ginger, you'll have a flat stomach. So a regular diet of cruciferous vegetables. Now, I'm not saying go binging on broccoli every night, but at least 3 to 4 times a week, you should have some cabbage or some broccoli or some cauliflower or Brussels sprouts.
Ew, not Brussels sprouts. Ew, no. Okay. I just thought we'd throw that little tip in there. So
Yeah.
another thing that people seem to be a little off on, and I know you was doing the rooter to the tutor on this show. Should you be taking a poop every day, or is it okay to take one, every other day or something like that?
Well, it's interesting. The reason people don't like taking a poop is because the way they poop. It's very messy. When it comes out, this is why people dread it, and they would rather not do it than to do it, because either they sit there and they're stuck, and so that's frustrating, and then your legs fall asleep.
Oh.
And that's frustrating. Or then when they do finally go, then it's very messy and they're wiping for days. And then that's nasty. Then you don't feel as clean, and especially you at work, you can't wash up, take a bath, and use half your wipes on your behind just to clean up. Nobody wants to do that. But that's because people are constantly improperly combining their food. When you properly combine your food, it all comes out very smoothly. And it's hardly anything on the toilet paper when you do wipe, because your body was able to pack it up the way it was supposed to and release it. It's not messy. It's not stuck. It's not coming out like popcorn. It's not coming out in chunks. It's not coming out, discolored. It doesn't smell like the stench from hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of different things. So proper food combined, your body is letting you know. The body is letting you know.
So I have a question about our standard American diet, which, the acronym is SAD, Standard American Diet, which I think also stands for sickly and deadly, because that's what it creates. I just wanted your opinion on this, and this is a little off the beaten path as well, but um, do you think the standard American diet, because it's all improper food combining, it's a lot of sugars, because they throw soda in everything. You've got all the hydrogenated oils, which cause heart disease. You got the high fructose corn syrups, which is bad for us. You got all these dyes and stuff. Do you think the way that the food and drug is, which is ironic that they go together, the Food and Drug Administration, do you think what they're promoting for us is about population control? Because they're slowly killing you with that diet. Do you think it's about population control?
Um, that's hard to say. I'm not privy to those meetings. I couldn't. I don't know. Um, like I say, a complete meal where everything is sold and eaten at once 3 times a day, definitely, as they told us in nutrition, or if you ever studied to be a dietitian, that you combine all of these and that they're good for you because this is what your body needs and why. But they don't tell you the different digestive times. They don't tell you uh, that certain foods digest in an alkaline state, some in an acidic state. They don't tell you that what you should and should not eat in combination with something. Like I was saying earlier, we are taught that it's okay to eat fruit after having a steak. That's very bad. Where this tradition came from, you can call it culture because every culture is different. Even the way that Mexicans combine their food, it's improper. They have flour tortillas. Flour is bread, which is a starch, and they mix it with chicken or meat and beans and rice with and cheese on a burrito.
Man, it's good though.
It's very good, especially a breakfast burrito when they throw some egg in there. But
And I love
um,
burritos.
so I can't say that that's population control because every culture does it. The Italians do it. They combine meat with pasta. That's improper food combined.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Yeah, that shrimp Alfredo or
Mm,
that chicken Alfredo. Yeah.
mm.
So you have milk, which is a
Beef
cow,
stroganoff,
cheese.
that's one of my favorites.
Right. You got the cheese from a cow. Um, you have uh, the pasta. So you have a milk protein. You have the pasta, and then you have a bird, which is the chicken. You just wreaked havoc on your system. Delicious as it is, you just
Right?
wreaked havoc. And trust me, I know it is very delicious, but you just wreaked havoc on your system.
And it's funny because it sounds like all the good stuff, you can't eat. And you know me, I'm very disciplined and stuff, especially when it comes to health, because I believe that health is your wealth, and without health, you don't have anything. So when I learn that something is not good for me in a different way is better for me, I do that. That doesn't mean that, every once in a while, maybe once a month, once to every 2 months, I don't throw something in there that if somebody show up with some beef stroganoff, I might have some, because guess what? I've been properly combining for weeks and months. So I feel like sometimes one day of eating bad might not, and it's not even one day. It's actually one meal, and your body does what it does and gets it on out of there, and then you go back to your regular thing. And that's the thing that people I think it stops a lot of people from going on the journey toward health, is that they look at, oh, I can't never have nothing again. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, when you have been raised and brought up in a culture of a particular type, it's a shock, a culture shock, whether it's you know, visually a culture shock, or if it's, by change of diet, because an abrupt change of anything is going to put a system in shock. Your mind, your physiology, your emotions, how you feel about it, what you're doing to your system. It's just like if you are of a certain, if you practice the Islamic faith, and then all of a sudden you converted, okay? So now they fast every year during the month of Ramadan. Well, if you're um, if you weren't raised in that culture, fasting, putting your system in the shock of fasting and one meal a day for 30 days, that's putting your system in shock. That's why it's advisable that if you do fast, then you fast to the afternoon. Just do a half a day, or just do a few hours, what you can. You have to grow into that, adjusting your body into that change. So when people feel like they're not going to be able to do this or that anymore, that's a cultural thing, and they have to readjust and wrap their mind around the reality that this is for your health, and what you have been doing was wrong. Here's the correct way. So the choice is yours. Do you want to continue to live the incorrect way, and where that is going to take you and your health long term, or do you want to make the change now? And then so long term, you'll be thanking yourself that you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, and while we were talking about flat stomachs and things of that nature, proper food combined, one of the things that I've noticed without doing anything else, I mean, I do work out, you know, I walk and I stretch and I have my exercises and stuff that I do, my hula hoop and my jump rope and all that kind of good stuff. However, I experienced a weight loss, and not an excessive weight loss, but I experienced a weight loss where my body just seems to be comfortable at, you know, and I didn't change anything. You know, when I started properly combining food, it's just like the extra pound, even though I was actually trying to gain weight. Apparently my body doesn't like to be a size 12. It prefers an 8 to 10 because it went right back down to that point, and that's where it's hanging out now. You know, so now I can shape my body, you know, but I know that clearly, you know, this is where my body is comfortable. So a lot of people who may have a lot of extra weight they're carrying around, their proper food combining, and it's not a bad thing. The food be delicious. You make it yourself. I make this sweet and sour shrimp over broccoli. Oh my God, my mouth is water.
Right.
It's delicious. You know, it's delicious. So yeah, if you're looking to flatten your stomach and lose weight, this proper food combining thing will definitely get you. And you're not
Yes.
counting
Yes.
calories or nothing like that.
No, you don't count calories. You have more energy, and you're naturally going to go to a healthy weight in which your body is designed to. And people don't realize that not everybody has time to go to the gym, or they are motivated to go to the gym. Some people have a very uh, demanding schedule. They have to get up in the morning, get themselves and their kids to get ready for school while they get ready for work, get the kids to school on time. Everybody has to eat. You got to get everyone dressed. You go to work. You deal with your job, and then you get off work, and then you're rushing to go get your kids before it's too late, before they charge you extra for keeping your kids.
Mm-hmm.
If they're young, or you have to go, uh, pick someone up from school to get them back home, once they get a certain age. And then you got to come home and make sure you start getting dinner ready. And by the time you do all of that, who has time to go to the gym? What gym? Who
Mm-hmm.
feels like, no, you just want to sit, watch your favorite TV program, reward yourself with something. You need some laughter. You need something on the television, a favorite series or a movie while you eat. And then you do the dishes, and then you get ready for work tomorrow and go to bed and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So who has time for the gym? But if you properly combine your food, everyone's going to have energy. Your health problems are going to be less, and you're not going to be obese. You're not going to be overweight. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's the other factor to that. Everyone has to understand the science of themselves. They have to learn, what is your blood type? It's not just something that casually disregard. It's very important that you know this. See, every animal in nature eats the same thing. Every monkey eats bananas. You know any monkeys that don't eat bananas?
I don't know any monkeys, but nah, I don't know.
I met a few in my life. I'm sure they weren't related to people. So you think about that. All seals, no, all seals eat fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people don't like the texture of fish.
Mm.
Some people don't like bananas. Well, different blood types have different palates of what you're going to have a taste for, what you do or don't like. And it may not be good for you. But see, everything in nature, they all eat the same thing of that species. You know, any spider that doesn't eat other bugs?
I think that's what their diet consists of. That's why I let them
Exactly.
live. Mm-hmm.
Do you know any bug that they would eat?
I don't know.
Exactly. Whereas there are numerous herbs, spices, foods. We have allergies. I don't know of what allergies that animals have or insects, but we have allergies to certain foods, which is what lupus is. It's a food allergy, uh, um, a food autoimmune disorder for having an allergy to food or something in the food. Like some people are allergic to nuts. You know, you have to understand the science of you. So when you properly combine food and know what you're supposed to eat based on your blood type and based on your zodiac and that of your children or your spouse, then you can prepare meals for everybody. It's not that, oh, we're eating chicken and rice with corn tonight and we are all going to eat it. Corn may be bad for you or may be bad for one of your children.
That's improper food combining too.
And it's improper food combined, but
And that's a
you're
standard
stuffing that.
meal. I can't tell you how many times in my life my mom has made chicken, rice, and corn. That's a standard meal. Where'd you go?
I'm here, and that's absolutely correct. And so I grew up the same way, and we were forced to sit there and make sure we ate all of our peas or all of our carrots. And the only thing I hated growing up was that my dog didn't eat peas.
Yeah,
because I was feeding him everything I didn't want to eat. I was tossing it to him.
it was Brussels sprouts for me. I still don't like them.
Yeah. I never liked Brussels sprouts growing up, but now that I've had them at a particular restaurant that knew how to make them correctly, oh, they're delicious.
I just don't even.
Yeah, they're delicious. But it's amazing how when you become an adult that your palate changes because you hate vegetables as a kid and you love them as an adult.
Yep.
So that's amazing in and of itself.
Something else I wanted to ask you about. So when I was growing up and in my 20s, one of my favorite meals to make was oven barbecue chicken with some baked beans, some macaroni and cheese, and some corn. Oh my God, that was good. Are we supposed to eat meat and beans together?
No. Beans and peas both contain both protein and starch. So it's hard trying to mix those. But because they're both plant-based and it has a certain amount of protein in it, then you shouldn't combine it with animal protein. So even chili is not as good as chili is.
No, I make a great chili too. My turkey chili.
Yes, I love chili. Chili is delicious.
And I'll use black beans instead of the other red beans. I use my black bean chili. Oh my God, it's good.
But again, like you were saying earlier, every now and then you might want to have some favorite meal of yours. But if you've been eating properly, every now and then, if you decide to improperly eat, it's not going to kill you. It's. I'm not going to say it's okay because it is actually doing something, but it's not going to be a detriment because you're going to get your body back in order. So if you have to eat beans with meat, just like you shouldn't have nuts with meat. Some people have nuts in their salad with their chicken salad. You're not supposed to have nuts is a protein. It's a different acid.
Yeah, you find them pine nuts. They put pine nuts in a lot of stuff.
Pine nuts. They also put pumpkin seeds on certain things as well in salads. So the pine nuts, the pumpkin seeds, the nuts, the cashews, and beans, all of those are proteins that should not be consumed with animal protein.
As a matter of fact, there's a dish called cashew chicken. They make the cashew chicken.
Yes, exactly. That's improper food combined, believe it or not.
Oh, one more thing before, and we're getting close to the end. Your show goes so quick. Can you tell people about Parmesan cheese?
Parmesan cheese is the worst thing you could take for your kidneys. By all means, stay away from Parmesan cheese. And trust me, I like Parmesan cheese myself.
Man, my heart was hurt when you told me that. No more Parmesan cheese on my spaghetti?
No more Parmesan. And here's the thing. I noticed within my own self that my ears would itch after I ate Parmesan cheese.
Wow.
And they would itch throughout the day, not like profusely or chronically, but they would itch. And so I couldn't figure out, why are my ears itching? Well, the kidneys govern your ears.
Oh.
So just like the lungs govern the intestines, and the liver governs the eyes.
Hmm.
So when you take Parmesan cheese, which is very bad for your kidneys, it can affect your ears. You can get an ear infection, or your ears are itch, or just feel like you just got to keep scratching your ears for some reason. At least that's the effect it had on me. And I couldn't figure it out. But then when I stopped eating, when I found out about Parmesan cheese, then that's it. But see, that's the thing. You have to know how your body responds to food, and the way the way food responds to you. You can't eat everything just because you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to eat something. Of course, if you get a Mercedes Benz, they want you to put nothing but premium gas in there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to put regular. That
Right.
engine is not designed for regular. You want regular, then go get you a Chevy or a Ford.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a Mercedes Benz or BMW, or if you have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, you're not putting regular gas. You wouldn't even think to put that in there just because of the name of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So just because it exists doesn't mean that you should be eating it. That's why you have to study self.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think of your body as a Lamborghini, man. Think of your body as
Right.
top line. You don't want to be
Yes.
putting that crazy stuff in there. You want this thing to
No.
last.
People every day they wake up and they look at everybody else as to how they wish they look like that person, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not appreciating themselves, and they can only reminisce and remember about when they were a certain age how they looked. Well, that is a result of it, you're living your life improperly combining food.
Mm-hmm.
If you properly combine food, eat according to your zodiac and your blood type, and discover the fascinating world of how you're designed, and eat accordingly, and be creative in that eating regimen, with different combinations and the spices, and putting things and coming up with new dishes that are indicative to you, you'll be amazed at how you look and how you feel.
Man, I was just sitting here thinking, like, what if when you turned 18, somebody came and they said, I'm gonna give you a free Lamborghini. They gave you a Lamborghini, and then they said, but this is the only car you could ever have in your life. People gonna take care of that Lamborghini, ain't they? Because it's the
If
only,
they know the value of it.
if they know the value of it. Because
Because you can have a candy bar and you can have a diamond. If that child is holding that diamond, that child would trade that diamond for that candy bar,
because it tastes good.
because they don't know the value of the diamond
Uh,
as
uh,
a
uh.
child. Whereas an adult, or let's say a drug addict, may trade that diamond for some drugs.
So
Whereas an entrepreneur may say, this diamond is worth $10 million. And somebody comes and says, well, I give you 5 million for it. And they say, no, you must be out your mind.
right.
I want 10, because that's what it's worth. So when you know the value of that Lamborghini that you've been given, that depends on, but see, that comes from education. People weren't properly educated. So that's why you have to educate you on you. That's your task.
Mm-hmm.
That's not someone else's job to do, to educate you on you.
Mm-hmm.
You live with you every day. You are the one with indigestion. You're the one with the stinky farts. You're the one with the headaches. You're the one with the aches and pains and all of this. You are. So what is it that you're doing? Are you sleeping right? Is your spine out of alignment? Do you have good posture? Are you getting regular exercise, or are you sedentary? Are you properly combining your food? And what food are you eating? Are foods that you eat good for you, or are they bad for you?
Mm-hmm.
That's your job as an adult and for the rest of your family for you to do. But people don't want to do that.
Because you definitely need to be label readers, man. You read them labels, you find all kind of bad stuff in food that you technically think is good for you, but then you read the label and you got partially hydrogenated oil and high fructose corn syrup and dye red number this and yellow number
Number
that.
40, red
Yeah,
number
all of
40,
that
which is a
stuff.
beetle from Asia.
Oh God, and MSG, and they might spell it out. So
Monosodium glutamate.
right,
Exactly.
they might spell it out because they figure some folks can't read it.
Well, and we all do that. When we see a word, we just glide over it and go on to the next word we do know.
Right.
We all do that. I know I stopped doing it because I realized I was actually cutting myself off from education.
Right.
When I did that. So last note, to wrap this up, get fond of eating radishes, celery, kiwi, asparagus, cruciferous vegetables, and onions and garlic. When you combine, when you're going to consume chicken, fish, turkey, beef, lamb, goat, whatever, make sure you consume it with asparagus and or either or celery, asparagus, cabbage, broccoli, onions, garlic, radishes, because the sulfur content in those foods help to digest and break down the animal fat. And just think about it. Where were people going to get omega-3 fatty acids if they weren't privy to sea life or ocean life or water life? They had to get it from where your body converts animal fat into omega-3 fatty acids. But you have to have the onions and the garlic or the radishes or the cruciferous vegetables that has sulfur in those foods to break down the animal fat. So that fat is converted to omega-3 fatty acids, so it becomes beneficial. And it doesn't become something that, causes plaque from excess and then improperly being digested, and it's just sitting there, and now you're developing arteriosclerosis as a result. That sulfur melts that fat and your body converts it into omega-3 fatty acids. But again, that's education. Who knows? Do they teach you that? You ever heard that? Was that common knowledge growing up? There wasn't common knowledge growing up.
Yeah, I eat a lot of onion and garlic with definitely if I'm having meat, but even like with pastas, when I make that veggie pasta I keep telling you about that's so delicious. Yeah, I have the onions and garlic in there. That's like a standard. That's like a staple, red onions and garlic. Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, Samir. Well, thank you for another